Damn it! Damn it!
So, I watched a pretty good movie the other day. It's called Just Cause. It's an old, mid to late 90s court drama crime mystery. But it has an absolutely hilarious structure that goes pretty hard after liberals, and I appreciate it, especially like given this day and age of absolute failure of liberal policy inflicting all manner of shit on us. So before I go any further with spoilers or anything, if you're right of centre or right wing and despise what liberals have done to the justice system and want something that narratively spits in their face in a sneaky way, which would also fish hook them in with bait, give this one a watch. Alright. So, just a little bit of background on it from the 90s movies and all that sort of thing. So the general genre of court dramas, like a ton of court dramas, are usually very liberal leaning. Like they lean super heavily into racist police, poor innocent victimized blacks, either lashing out at unpunished whites, like in, for example, Time to Kill, or even like age-old classics like To Kill a Mockingbird. Like a white guy does his job and defends a black guy in a court in a racist time, and that's the movie. Or like something like Mississippi Burning, sort of same deal, corrupt KKK, white police, white courts, all that sort of deal, dealing with racial injustice and all that sort of thing. Even like the classic 12 Angry Men, I think it insinuated that the kid Fonda was defending it against the death penalty. In that is also an immigrant and involved with gang activity, so indicated to be Mexican or black, like one of the dude's biases who Fonda points out. The dude with the glasses, I think it was. He singles him out for his bias against blacks and Mexicans, basically. So let's just say within the structure of all these movies there's like a liberal bias that tends towards rehabilitation over punishment, very anti-death penalty, very programming whites are bad and whites are racist and blacks are always innocent and all that sort of deal. And all that's before you look at things like The Lincoln Lawyer, Dead Man Walking, even like that HBO movie Attica, that had Samuel L. Jackson in it as a Muslim preacher, and he was sort of reasonable and they were living in bad conditions and all that sort of shit. and even movies like Primal Fear, Condition, like the villain in that, well, one of the two villains in that, spoilers, was a Catholic Church dude, bishop, that was corrupt and perverted and making sex tapes with one of the main characters, and the main character, spoilers, killed him. Like the whole movie was that, like, trying to get that main character off of the death penalty for, you know, what was observed to be a righteous killing. And all these movies have like a bias against death penalty, bias against just whites persecuting blacks, all that sort of thing. There's just an inherent inbuilt liberal bias in all these movies. By the way, I'm not saying they're bad movies. 12 Angry Men and Primal Fear are both great movies. But, hey, point being. That being said, at the same time, is it any wonder you end up with, like, real world shit that's just absurd? Like, real world Innocence Project guy on Joe Rogan, essentially just using Rogan to spin a media narrative to get like an obviously guilty gang dude off. The gang dude was, I think he fucking assaulted someone because they owed him money for drugs or some shit. So like this guy's in it up to his eyeballs. Then a few weeks after they get this dude off, because I think he got a life sentence, because I think it was the third strike or the fourth strike or something like that. A few weeks after they get him off, after the Joe Rogan thing, it's all good. He comes on the Joe Rogan podcast. He is a bit confrontational on the Joe Rogan podcast. We start thinking maybe, and then a few weeks later, I think they find like a dismembered torso in his freezer. So like, okay, he probably did it. It's nearly the Family Guy joke at the end of the OJ episode, where they have this big cathartic, oh, not everyone's guilty, you can just be in the wrong place at the wrong time, and then OJ like stabs two people and beheads another person and runs off. It's sort of like that, but real life. So you have all that, and then the liberal guy, obviously, that, you know, got the black guy off, that was obviously a gang member, obviously involved with an assault, obviously now involved with a murder. The liberal guy that, you know, spun the whole media narrative, that represented him free of charge, got him off the death penalty, got him out of jail, saved his life, and then he murders again. And then the liberal guy gets absolutely nothing done. He suffers absolutely no punishment. He's not charged with aiding and abetting or anything like that. Which is, like, that's a bit fucking wild. And then, obviously, you've got the UK Pakistani Muslims that have raped many underage girls, in some instances gang raped underage girls, usually in, you know, torturous ways. These people are not executed via the death penalty, which is, that's fucking wild. If ever you can execute someone, like, justifiably under the death penalty, it's obviously pedophile gang rapists, like those people. Like, you don't even need to have an argument. If you catch one and they're on video doing it, or you have witnesses of underage girls doing it, yeah, let's execute those fucking people. Why are they alive? Like, what is this liberal ideal you're appealing to by keeping them alive in prison, and in some cases only giving them like a 5-year sentence? Like, the UK is just completely fucked. And it's like, is it only doing it because they're Muslims? Is it giving them lighter sentences because they're Muslims? In which case, like, no, like, never do that. Why would you appease Muslims? They're the fucking worst people. They should have a reputation equivalent to Nazis with their amounts of child marriage, Armenian genocide, Greek genocide, Assyrian genocide, 60 or so civil wars. Like, ask AI how many Muslim countries have been involved with civil wars, and like civil wars are the worst thing that you can have in your country. It just burns up all the resources in the country, kills like civilians in that country, destroys the infrastructure of the country. Like a civil war is just a stupid thing to happen, right? It's just going to destroy the country for no gain, for no possible gain. It's just political leadership change. Muslim majority countries have had like 60 of those. Like the Muslim world is not doing great. And then you want to like import these people as like a voting bloc, and import their values and overthrow our values, which is Christian free Western values, which are vastly superior to Muslim values. You want to overthrow our values for their values, in the hopes of, you know, you upending the apple cart, maybe getting some sort of political gain. It's fucking insane. But anyway, liberals like to let Muslims off the hook because, after all, they're only poor browns that aren't capable of thought and aren't responsible for their actions, apparently. Like, I guess that's the liberal argument, which is fucking insane. So, given all that preamble and all that set up to the culture of the 90s, where all these court thrillers, you know, conditioned public opinion to accept all these ideas, pretty much. Imagine my surprise when I discovered the movie Just Cause with Sean Connery in it. And just very briefly, I will tell you the main character's main arc. The main character, right from the beginning, is a far-left liberal law professor, and right from the opening scene that introduces him, he's arguing against the death penalty, saying it's wrong. And he wants no part of any god or law that allows it. Completely undermining Christian ethics, Christian common law, all that for liberal ideals. He graphically describes the outcome of a botched electric chair execution, in which the guy's eyes pop out and all that sort of thing, and details the number of allegedly innocent people executed. I think it's like 23 or something. His character arc starts there. He eventually evolves. His character arc evolves from that into a guy that stabs a black murderer to death in a swamp and feeds his body to alligators in order to hide the evidence. Which is just fucking brilliant. It's just like a brilliant character arc that subverts the entire 90s, the entire established liberal conditioning of the 90s. Along the way, almost parody of real life, he does the Innocence Project guy thing, and he unknowingly frees a serial killer that killed a little girl, and that then proceeds to murder, after he's released, two elderly people at the behest of another killer and another police officer. If that weren't enough, that it attacked liberals that hard in its character arc and that hard in its setup by having the black guy as the murderer, and having the liberal responsible by proxy for 3 more murders, the murderer is black. So that's just fun. And this, it's pretty criminally unknown movie. It's like a criminally unknown movie. Subverted the entire liberal bias of the genre and the genre at the time. Not only is the anti-death penalty do-gooder an idiot, as a result of his actions, he by proxy murders another 3 people. The murderer is black, and it's the best part about it is it sets the hook right at the start, because the opening scene of the movie is the black guy getting picked up, and then the alleged white supremacist officers are beating a confession out of him and holding a gun up to him and intimidating him to try and get him to confess. And it's just fun that the heavy-handed police, who are implied to be racist and who trusted their instincts, were actually correct from the start that he's the murderer. The liberal do-gooder that bought on the race narrative and the whole thing winds up being the fucking idiot. Like, it's just refreshing to see a movie that subverts everything like that. It sets the hook in, draws the liberal in by making him think it's going to be this To Kill a Mockingbird, A Time to Kill, race movie, with this safe, comfortable liberal bias movie, in a genre that's, comfortably liberal biased. And it just subverts it. It takes it all the way into the swamps, and it just drowns them. It's fucking hilarious. And like, some mystery movies and some murder mysteries and crime movies like this, they set up a bullshit twist. And what I mean by a bullshit twist is they don't give you the evidence you need to see the twist coming. This movie isn't like that. This movie doesn't set up a bullshit twist either. That it's like narratively impossible to predict. Like, it's well written enough. Like, it does portray right from the start the black guy, allegedly innocent killer, as like a pure victim. But then when the liberal guy first meets him, this supposedly innocent guy, his first visit with him in the prison, you immediately get an off feeling about the black guy. The supposedly innocent guy that the liberal white savior is going to save. This black guy is like weirdly suave. He doesn't seem to be feeling the pressure. He does weird quotes. He's like oddly evasive. He's like got odd behavior for a guy. He's like weirdly confident for a guy that's facing like death penalty that's innocent, right? And the fact that they threw that in there, like the signs that he's obviously like on the dark tetrad and manipulative and possibly psychopathic because he's not feeling the pressure of his situation, and all that. Those are like signs that are hard to ignore. So right off, you can tell, okay, he might have done it. And like, it's just brilliant how they set that up, and they don't explain it or anything. They just throw it out there. I guess to just catch liberals off guard with it. It's just fun. So anyway, like, all of that just makes it worthy of a watch, right? It subverts the liberal bias genre of the time. It carries a very timely message, even to this day. It has a twist in it. It isn't bullshit about the twist, making the twist impossible and therefore feeling cheap. The abusive street-level cops that beat the confession out of the killer are understandably angry and hateful towards the liberal do-gooder. So, like, they're nuanced in the view of the liberal that's, attempting to release the killer. That in itself is also good writing. They view him as, like, attempting to subvert justice, like, the way most right-wing individuals view liberals these days. And as a result of that, they're like very justifiably angry and aggressive towards him. And this aggression, it feels authentic to the narrative. And all of this is before we get to the part of the movie which is Ed Harris doing his best Hannibal Lecter and coming across as like a extremely explosively angry, semi-religious serial killer artist, which is like pretty well done. Like, he does a really good job. That he plays a psychopath. Psychopaths are really good lie detectors. They can tell when people are telling the truth or not. They don't feel it themselves. They get explosively angry when their authority is threatened. Like, all of that, it comes across as a very well acted, authentic psychopath from Ed Harris. Like, he does a brilliant job in the role. And just the movie's good. Like, honestly, the structures and character arcs of the movie are what sells it. It's a well-executed mystery with a anti-liberal emotional arc, where the liberal eventually comes to learn some people are just evil and need to be killed to limit the amount of damage they can do, which is just a good moral lesson. Like, for example, under these, like, shitty liberal ideas, like, you just get so far from any semblance of justice, and like they try to derive some sort of moral high ground out of bad court decisions that just fail, in delivering justice. It's something like, yes, well, the murderer went free, and there is no justice for the victim, but at least we upheld the principles of fair trial, or the principles of the justice system, that it's better that 9 guilty men go free so 1 innocent person is punished. Like, that's just a bad sell for, like, a failure. Like, that's just a cope. It's like, fuck off with that cope shit. You just failed to provide justice. But, you know, this liberal shit is absolutely compounded in, you know, current day UK and Australia, where you're not allowed a gun for self-defense, you're not allowed self-defense. Some liberal fuck blocked, you know, a reform of castle doctrine in Victoria, in Australia recently, the other day. Like, can you imagine that? Some liberal in government, some liberal politician, saying, no, you're not allowed to defend yourself in your own home if someone home invades you. Like, just like, that situation's just wild. Like, some criminal who may or may not be armed breaks into your fucking house, and the government says, no, you can't defend yourself from him. Like, that's fucking wild. Like, in the Bible, which, you know, Christian ethics and Christian common law derives from, it directly says, if someone home invades you at night, you can kill that motherfucker. To put this into perspective, Moses, the prophet that gave us the 10 Commandments, he murked a fucking dude that was trying to kill his slave. He fucking killed somebody in defense of life. And he was chosen as a prophet after that. And arguably becomes one of the more important ones, because from him we get the 10 Commandments. 10 Commandments inspire Christian ethics and common law. So, I mean, okay, you want to keep a fucking gang rapist pedophile alive in prison for 5 years and then try to release him back into the public so he can do it again? Like, the liberal ideas of just fucking shit. They're just absolutely dog shit. Like, all of this while they fucking inflict mass immigration and criminals upon us. Like, in the UK study, what was it? Afghans are like 22 times more likely to fucking rape than white British people are. It was like 77 per 10,000 committed rape that were brought in. Like, we worked out in a previous video, in the 27k Afghanis Albanese brought in, we extrapolated from the 77 per 10,000, and it works out like Albanese is responsible for like 160 rapes happening with the 27k Afghanis he brought in. Like, liberals are fucking retarded. They're the stupidest cunts ever. Their policies are fucking disastrous every time. Like, the amount of control, the amount of fuckery, the amount of injustice that it inflicts on people. And, like, it should be common sense. Okay, in a normal society, you're allowed to defend your own life against people that would wish to do you harm. Like, that's the most common sense fucking thing ever. Liberals go, no, no self-defense for you. You go to prison if you fucking try to defend yourself. Like, it's the dumbest fucking shit ever. Concealed carry for innocent law-abiding people, like obviously felons and stuff can't conceal carry. What's the logic behind disarming like good people that have never had a problem with the law? What's the logic there? Okay, you're gonna disarm them and make them completely vulnerable to the people who don't obey the law, who are bad actors, who are like psychopathic and that sort of thing. Like, hawk and dove game theory just tells you right from the start that that's not going to work. That's fucking stupid. But, you know, liberal policy. Good work, liberal policy. Yes, you really saved us there. Yeah, they're just absolutely the fucking worst. Like, the idea that, I mean, like, a gang rapist of children, like the grooming gangs, like those people should get like a 10-year prison sentence and then be let out on society. No, they should be fucking hanged until they're dead, so they're not a problem anymore. Like, the recidivism rate among, you know, pedophiles is incredibly high. It's like 50-60% or something, I'm pretty sure. Against violent, psychopathic, pedophile pimps that have a religious justification in Islam to do this shit, Like, they're just gonna do it again. Why wouldn't you kill them? It's just in the best interest to kill them, to execute them, so they don't inflict this upon anyone else in society. It's just limiting the damage that they're capable of doing. It's just common sense that that's a good idea. Like, why would you be against that? Oh, but everyone deserves the right to a fair trial, and the death penalty is inhumane, and all this sort of dumb shit. Like, inhumane? The level of inhumanity in a gang rape. A gang rape isn't just rape, it's sexual torture. Like, the people from these cultures are fucked. Like, I'm of the opinion we should just friggin' deport all Muslim people that want to install anything like Sharia law, because under Sharia law, pedophilia becomes legal. Like, they have child marriage. There's been 900 million child marriages since the 1900s, extrapolated from AI. Like, that's a lot. We don't want that. And then, of course, if you're not Islamic, then you just get to be persecuted by the superior Muslims, and that means your little girls get to be sex slaves and raped. Like, the whole situation's fucked. Deport all Muslims out of the country immediately. They're incompatible with Western values. Then, remove tax-exempt status of mosques. Tax them into the fucking ground. When they become abandoned, rip the fucking things down and build churches on top of them. Churches have superior values to Muslims. Okay, do that. Bring back the death penalty for rape, gang rape, pedophilia, pedophilic gang rape. Bring back the death penalty for those things. We don't want to reform them, people. We're not part of this queer ideology that thinks pedophilia is just a sexual preference. No. Get them out of society. Hang those people. Get rid of them. We don't want them. They're just going to do damage to society. There's no reason to have those people there. Murder, well, depends. If it's self-defense, obviously you can't kill people that have, just killed people out of self-defense or defense of others. But the liberal fucking travesty of morality, which tries to claim some Christian ethics for itself but not others, says you can't defend yourself, which is just the stupidest fucking shit ever. You can't defend yourself? I'd say that's the one right you have. You have granted to you by God is the preservation of your own life, particularly, with food, etc. That's the one right that we can't really, debate about that you have. You obviously have that. There's like genetically you're encoded to preserve your own life. Like, okay, you can say we can't do that, that's just fucking stupid, you're a stupid liberal piece of shit. Obviously, as long as you're not a felon, as long as you're not a rapist, etc., you should be allowed to carry a gun. I would extend that to Muslims as well, given the Muslim prevalence to seek martyrdom. And Muslim martyrdom is very different from Christian martyrdom, just due to taqiyya. If a Muslim's getting persecuted, they have religious permission to lie through taqiyya to preserve their own life, which basically eliminates the possibility of Christian noble martyrdom, peaceful protest martyrdom. Their martyrdom is just murder-suicide, so no guns for Muslims because they're trash. Seems sensible? Apparently not to fucking liberals.